Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel today, and this is a slightly special one because it was actually a request from a friend of mine. And so this video is a false eyelash tutorial. This specifically though, it's not like we're going to use a fancy pair of eyelashes that you can only buy online or something like that, or they're very exclusive. The eyelashes that we're using are the Ardell Wispies, and I really love the brand Ardell. One, because they have very thin lash bands and they're very flexible and easy to use. Plus I actually love their lash glues too, so whether it is in this bigger tube or if you buy the Ardell lashes individually, they come with like the little tiny glue, and I love using these so much. These ones here, I love them because they pretty much are tacky straight away. So as soon as you put the glue on the lashes, you can pop your lashes on almost immediately. Probably just wait like 10 seconds, but you can pretty much put them on straight away and you don't have to worry about the glue going everywhere, it being messy or anything like that. But this one was specifically requested to do local lashes, something lashes that you can like just go down to the shops right now and you would find them. And that's why I actually love these as well, because they are locally sourced, you know. So if you don't have access or are afraid to buy online, then these are the way to go. Plus they're not super expensive. From memory, you can get like a set of eyelashes for $5 or something like that. And with these lashes as well, they're not just like one. Well, at least with these ones, I don't know about all of them, but with these ones in particular, you can use them more than once. Like for me, especially because I do so many makeup videos, I can actually use a pair of these, I think maybe 3 or 4 times, depending on how well I take care of them. If I were to take better care of them, I could probably make them last longer. But I have lots of eyelashes, so I use like other ones as well. But I love these so much. And they are so good, especially if you are a beginner. So I guess to wrap up this intro so you can continue watching, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I very much appreciate it, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I would love your support. Otherwise, let's get into the video. Okay, so to get started on this, I wanted to go through the eyelashes that I prefer to use most of the time, especially like for affordability, for being able to go get them locally, and like other tools and stuff that I would use myself. So the first thing is the Ardell Wispies multi-pack, because it's better for money. You know, you get more than if you were to buy them all individually, and you can kind of reuse these a good couple of times, and you can actually reuse these a few times before, you know, you get rid of them. So these are the ones that I really like to use. And typically, so if you buy them in individuals, you do get a little glue with them, but the pack one you don't. So there's 2 glues that I like to use. So I actually don't have any more left, but usually I use a tube like this. It's called the Duo Lash Glue. This one is the Ardell one as well, so I really love the Ardell one, including the very small sample size ones that you get in the individual packs. And I really love these ones because you don't have to wait as long for them to dry, or, you know, to get to that tacky stage that you always hear everybody talk about. So pretty much with that one, I put the glue on the lash and then almost instantly can put it on my eyes. In terms of other tools, so a good mascara is fantastic as well. It doesn't have to be this one, it can be any mascara that you prefer. The type of mascaras that I prefer are the ones that don't clump your eyelashes, which hopefully most mascaras don't anyway, but if you add too many layers, it'll happen. So I don't like the crispiness or clumpiness that some mascaras can get. I really like this one just because it has such a small wand. It's the Maybelline Great Lash. It has such a small wand, so I find it easier because I have a little bit smaller eyes to be able to use that. And this is the waterproof one. So I just know that the lash curl itself will hold. Now I don't actually curl them, but it does help to like push them up a little bit. Now, these are the 3 other tools that I will tend to use. So, a small pair of scissors, obviously for trimming the eyelashes to the right size. I usually will use a pair of tweezers just because I find that they will, you know, you can get it close to your eye, more precise sort of usage, just a really good pair of tweezers. And the last thing I will always use is this tool here. So this tool here, obviously it's got the angle on it, and I really like this. So once the glue dries on your eyelashes, I really like this so you can use it and you pinch together. You'll pinch together your natural lash and the false lashes, and that's just so it looks more seamless. Alright, so now though, in terms of eye makeup, I will always do my makeup before I put eyelashes on, and I usually do put eyeliner. You don't have to. I usually prefer to, but I'm gonna do part of this video with no eyeliner whatsoever, and then the other part I'm gonna use some eyeliner. It doesn't even have to be eyeliner actually. You can use eyeshadow to just darken up that lash line on the top lid. So half of this video of me going through this eyelash tutorial is going to be with no, like I've got eyeshadow on right now, but I don't have anything on the lash line. And then the other half, I'm just going to redo it and add a very small, like whether it's eyeshadow or eyeliner, I'm yet to decide. So to actually get started on this, let's open it up. Alright, so I've got them out. I always start on the outer corner when I pull them off, and do it very gently because you don't want to ruin the eyelashes. Perfect, now it's off. So, typically, there is some glue left on the lash band from it being glued onto this carton. And this lash glue, I actually pull off. So I'll show you that zoomed up. Don't know if you can 100% tell, but you can see there's some lash glue along this band. And I will actually prefer to pull off that glue. It's very hard to do it one-handed, but I'm going to try for you so you can see it. So just gently, I just grab that glue. Can you see that lash glue coming off? It doesn't need to be perfect, but just where there are some clumps. And I do that because it'll actually help with some seamlessness between your lashes and the lash band. I do make sure to clean off the same tweezers that I just used. I always have a microfiber cloth around the tweezers along that edge, and that actually pulls off like all that extra glue in case there's any on there. All right, now I did forget a tool actually, and that is a little handheld mirror. So one side is, you can't obviously see it on camera, but one mirror in my hand that I've got is just a normal one. The other one's like a zooming mirror, so it zooms in quite a bit. I kind of use both. I always have it like quite close to my face, and I'll make sure to move my face to however it feels right. So we're gonna measure this now on our eye and see how much we might need to trim off. So I've got my mirror quite literally right here, and then what I do is I'll look down and I'm going to place this on where I'm happy with it, and then trim it after I've decided how much will need to be trimmed off. So I would usually have it about there. And so I can see that there's about this much that needs to be chopped off. And so when I'm looking in the mirror, I just sort of count how many I push it up. It's like a clump. Like I see how much thickness I want to chop off. So to me, that's sort of about here. So looking at this eyelash, there are like sets of lashes. I've seen that I want to chop about 3 in. So I'm not going to chop exactly that third one off yet. What I am going to do is chop off the last 2 bits, remeasure it to double check if I need extra, and then if I do, trim it again, measure it again. You don't want to trim too much off because then it might end up looking a bit funny unless you want to have like a half lash look. Okay, so I just trimmed off the last 2 lash clumps. Remeasure. Yeah, and I've definitely decided I want this last section of lashes off. Alright, so that lash is ready. What we are going to do is some mascara on both eyes, which I'll zoom you guys in for it because it's nothing fancy. Your normal mascara routine will work just fine. And then while my lashes are drying from the mascara, I'll cut and measure the other eyelash. Okay, so now it's time to zoom in so you can see exactly how I put the lashes on. So I'm going to be using my little tube of glue, and then we're going to put glue on these eyelashes. So a little goes a long way. So I've just squeezed it out so there's like the tiniest bit on the beginning of that tube. And just, you can see it really well there. I think a very small amount along the lash. See, you don't need a lot. Now we're going to get these on before it dries. Making sure you have your little mirror handy. Looking down at your mirror, just down on top of the eyelashes and then place it onto your lash line. As close as you can get it. And then I just pushed the inner corner in, come to this edge, you can see it's still lifted, we're going to pull it down. And then press it in. That's how it's looking. That's how it looks at the moment. Gonna let it dry for just a second, but in the meantime I'm just sort of pushing them down a little, just as my preference. You don't have to do that. They can stay up like that, they can push down, but that's what I like to do. The glue for the little tube dries so quickly. Alright, now we're going to go in with these handy dandy clippy thingies and press the eyelashes together. Now be very careful because you're so close to your eyeball, you don't want to poke yourself. So I'll come in through the top over the eyelashes and just clamp my lashes and the false lashes together. And that is pretty much how they look with no eyeliner. So that's no eyeliner, how they're looking. Now you don't have to chop off as much, but because I had to chop off quite a bit because I have a slightly smaller eye, they sometimes won't sit as far out, but it depends on what eye look you're going for. I prefer, because I have hooded eyes, to have them more pointed and like sort of swooping up anyway, because it gives my eye the appearance that they're round and they're big and that they're open. So I am going to do very light shadow line on my lash line. Very, very light. It doesn't need to be anything intense. I'm just going with a dark eyeshadow and I'm going to pack that onto the lash line of my right eye so you can see how the difference is between the two eyes. Okay, so that now has the light eyeshadow, like a dark eyeshadow along the lash line. So now we're going to zoom in and do the same thing, and then I'll zoom back out so you can see the difference between no eyeliner and eyeliner. Time to glue these ones up. Again, same as before, just the smallest amount of glue and run it along that lash band. Again, have your mirror handy and looking down at the mirror and bringing this down from the top. Let that dry for a second before we're going to pinch them together. And that is how that one is looking. So there isn't too much of a difference between them, but just to show you, like in the middle here, you can slightly see through my eyelashes just because I have very small eyelashes. This one here is a little bit thicker, and that's because of that shadow that I sort of placed kind of like as a liner across the eyelashes. Now that's a difference between them, so it is up to you. And this is how it is looking from the distance, so you can see there isn't too much difference between either side. Other than this one, it does look slightly different, and that's because of the eyeliner slash eyeshadow that I used as liner. So on that note, that pretty much finishes this tutorial. And I wanted to thank my friend for asking for this one in particular, because I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I just wasn't sure if anybody actually wanted it. So here we go. And just to recap, I use the Ardell Wispies. Like, they're super easy to use, very flexible, thin band, especially if you want to use them every day. You don't even have to get this size. I think they have like demi wispy, like smaller ones. They've got heaps of different sizes, so you can get it pretty much any pharmacy in your town. So yeah, I'm very happy with them. So I guess all I can say is thank you so much for watching, especially if you've come this far. Please subscribe if you're not. I would love for you to do that so much. And in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.